Let's loosen up those tight hip flexors and quads in under 10 minutes. All you need is a pair of yoga blocks and a wall. Let's go get it. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got my makeshift wall set up here and got my blocks. We're ready to go. So we're starting off with a quick thigh warm up with Hindu squats. So we're gonna stand with the feet facing forward. Keep the torso nice and upright. As you go down into the squat, bring the hands down along the side. You can lift up onto the toes, aiming to go full depth, arms out in front as we go. So 30 seconds here just to get the thigh muscles warmed up. And then we're gonna go into a little bit of a baby camel. So nice, even tempo here. Try to stay as upright as you can. Feel free to lift the heels if you need to. If this does bother your knees or if you're really tight, just limit your range of motion to where you can handle. 10 more seconds, just getting a little bit of blood flow. Then we're gonna do our first actual quad stretch called a baby camel. So, all right, so let's move down to the knees. We're gonna grab your blocks just in case. We're gonna be in a tall kneeling position. So ideally with the camel, we're able to put the hands on the heels and then shift the hips forward to stretch the quads. If you can't reach, you can use blocks behind you like so. But lean back and feel the quads stretching. Squeeze the bum muscles, open up through the hips and shift the hips forward. I'm gonna do the full version here, but open up, lean back and feel the hip flexors and quads opening up. Squeeze the bum and really feel that stretch. 10 more seconds here, and then we're gonna go right back to those Hindu squats to warm up before we get into our dynamic hip mobility, hip flexor and quad mobility. That's time. Should feel a nice little burn going. So one of the ways we assess for tightness in the quads, something called a modified Thomas test. I'll do a video about that in the future. Look it up online. You can tell for sure if you're tight and see how your progress is going. So back to the Hindu squats, here we go. Keep the heels off the floor if you need, chest nice and high, and get that blood flow in the quads, going only as deep as you can handle without any discomfort or pain. These are great for overall thigh strength, really good at strengthening the vastus medialis muscle, which is a muscle that stabilizes your knee in the bottom and top range of motion of stepping off of a stair or in the bottom of a squat. All right, so let's move into our first dynamic quad stretch. So we'll have the left knee on the floor, right leg forward. You can use your blocks for support or put a hand on the thigh. So from here, we're just gonna rock in and out of a quad stretch. So squeezing the butt. So squeeze the butt and go forward, looking up, then come off of it. Squeeze the butt, shift forward and look up, go off of it. Think about lifting the rib cage up so you feel the stretch right through this hip. At the end of the 30 seconds, we'll have no break. We're just gonna go to the deepest you can handle and hold the static stretch for 30 seconds. Nice and upright. Squeeze the bum so you really feel that hip open up. So far, so good. And we're just gonna find the deepest position and hold. So try to stay nice and upright. Keep this glute squeeze. Think about trying to tilt the hips back. If your hips were a bucket of water, think about pouring the water out the back of the bucket. You'll really feel this hip flexor open up and hold. We got 10 more seconds and we're just gonna switch on over to the other side. Hold on tight, squeeze it. All right, other side, and we're gonna do the same thing. Rocking first, nice and dynamic. Give yourself a little bit of a rest here. So again, with no rest, we're gonna go from that dynamic directly into static. So let's squeeze the bum and rock in and out of the stretch. Just getting that hip warmed up. Squeeze the bum. Think about lifting front of the hip. Feel that hip flexor stretching. Good stuff. So far, so good. Nice and dynamic, in and out of the stretch. Got 10 more seconds, and then we're just gonna hold the stretch at the deepest point. Good. Squeeze. Almost there. So let's hold. Find the deepest position you can go and hold it if you need. You can put your blocks at your side and hold them for support. I'll be doing that for the quad stretch on the wall. I'll show you a few different levels for the quad stretch. Let's hold on nice and tight. Squeeze that butt. Think again about tilting the hips back and pouring the water out the back of the bucket. Squeeze the bum. Bring the rib cage up. Really feel that hip flexor open. 2, 1. Awesome. All right. So we're going to go into a really hard quad strength and stretch exercise called a natural leg extension. So come to a tall kneeling position. And then from here, we're going to squeeze the bum, keep the body in a straight line. Arms can go out in front as counterbalance and just lower yourself back as far as you can without bending at the hips. You might not be able to go far, and that's okay. It'll build with time. We just got 30 seconds here. Go as low as you can and back up. These are really tough. You might be up here to start. That's totally fine. Just work on it. It's only 30 seconds. You'll get a couple really good reps. Challenge yourself to go as low as you can. Almost there. We got 10 more seconds. And we'll have about 30 seconds to make our way over to your wall to do our wall quad stretch. We just got that once on each side. Perfect. All right, so we'll make our way over to the wall. We're gonna start with the left knee on the wall. So let's start and make sure the knee is directly up against the wall. Once you're here, this might be the stretch for you. You're bringing the chest nice and high. So our first thing just might be here. Grab your block so you can prop yourself up. You'll feel right through here stretching. Next level is to get the foot up. Now, if I had a full wall here, our next goal is to bring the shoulders to the wall. But from here, nice and upright, we're here for 60 seconds. Use blocks for support. And make sure this shin stays perfectly vertical. It's very common for the shin to fall in as a compensation. So stay nice and vertical with it. Once you can get all the way up and touch the wall, keep the torso vertical and start shifting forward. Make sure we keep the stretch at an intensity that is difficult, but holdable. If you find yourself fidgeting and squirming in and out of it, you've probably taken the stretch a little bit too far. We'll kind of try to push to that intensity for the last 10 seconds of the stretch, but let's hold it still the whole time. A couple more seconds here and then let's see. Let's go 10 seconds of intensity. Really put the stretch on. Challenge yourself here for the end of the stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's time. All right, so we're gonna have another 30 seconds to make your way over to the other side, and that's gonna finish off the flexibility. I do recommend if you have tightness in this area to try to do this daily. Again, let's get the knee directly up against the wall, shin vertical, and we're gonna lift the torso nice and high. This might be the stretch for you, but our first goal is get the foot up. Second goal is to get the back all the way to the wall. Once you can do that, then you can start shifting forward. So here we go. Let's bring it to like a maybe 6 or 7 out of 10 intensity. Nothing so crazy that you can't hold it without squirming. So if you find yourself going in and out of the stretch, you've just gone too intense. Just take it a little bit easier. Squeeze the bum and the chest high and really feel the quad stretching. Slowly you'll feel it loosen and you'll be able to get a little bit further, a little bit further, and a little bit further into the stretch. Almost there. As you feel things loosen up, just go a little bit deeper. For the last 10 seconds, again, we're gonna push the intensity and see how far we can get into this stretch. So we're almost there. 2, 1, let's really push that intensity, challenge yourself, see how far you can get it. Squeeze your bum, let's get into it, push it. Should be pretty uncomfortable. 3, 2, 1, and that is it. Amazing work, everybody. Quick, 8, 9 minutes a day. Do this every day and enjoy the flexibility gains. See you guys in the next one.